Your lesson plan?
No, not lesson plan. I think my question is focused on literacy. Yeah, in my opinion,
Oh,
yeah, literacy is sound, word, and sentence, the meaning of a sentence, right? So for my question is, what is the literacy in a math classroom? So in Chinese, the literacy is only means words. So it doesn't explain, in a math lesson. So I'm very curious about that. Yeah.
yes. And
Mm.
that's exactly where it's tricky, because we think of literacy as being only in language arts classes or
Yeah.
English classes.
Yeah.
But we need to it's so important that we bring literacy into every subject area.
Yeah.
So you might, many times in math classes, students will have like a math journal, and they'll write about what they've learned and how to use what they've learned. And so that's using literacy. When
Ah,
they are writing an explanation about a certain math problem or
yeah.
something, even story problems, using a
Oh,
story problem. Write a
yeah.
story about using this problem. Do
Oh,
you see what I mean? It's just ways to integrate literacy into
I
all the
know.
work that we do,
I
right? Because
know.
we
Yeah.
need to develop literacy in all subject areas. And
Ah.
that's why it's emphasized
Ah.
there. Does that make sense? So you're probably already doing it, right? But
Yeah.
you just hadn't really thought about focusing on literacy. And so it's really a time for you to just really identify what
Yeah.
areas in your lessons do you do that.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. And I did some researches on the internet, yeah, about literacy. And the internet also tell me that literacy includes, operation and addition and subtraction and multiplication.
Yes,
And this all be included in literacy. Uh,
absolutely, because that's math literacy, right? We have
Math
science
literacy.
literacy, we have music literacy, we have
Oh, okay.
art literacy. It's when you're learning vocabulary and
Yeah.
how you're using it, that's all considered literacy. Absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So, what can I do in my math lesson plan about the literacy? What parts I must focus on to develop the literacy of students?
Well, you might, what concept are you teaching in this lesson?
I haven't choose. I haven't
Okay,
decided. Yeah.
that's fine. So
Okay.
what I would suggest is perhaps kids, let's say you're introducing some vocabulary,
Yeah.
write, have them write a story problem.
Story problem. Mhm.
Using, let's say if I was teaching multiplication, all right,
Yeah.
and I would say, okay, write a story about how you would use this. So, you know, uh, I'm having a party and I need to buy things for my party. I
Yeah.
have, 6 kids coming,
Uh,
and you know what I mean? So that's using literacy. Anytime they are
okay.
practicing with the vocabulary,
Okay.
practicing, like I said, journals are good because they put into their own words
Yeah.
how to use it. They might
Okay.
put into their own words what's a real world application for
Real
what we've
world.
been learning,
Okay.
right? Because that brings in the real world concepts.
Okay.
um, Gosh, there's just lots of things that you can do
Okay.
to bring that in.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I know. Thank you. And thank you very much. And in this lesson, in this unit, unit 8, yeah, unit 8, and our no, instructor, yeah, instructor suggest us have a plan A and a plan B. Plan A is you can record a video with our students. It's a real lessons, right? And the plan B, we can have a lesson plan, but we haven't need to have a real lesson with our students. Just a reflection on how we write down the lesson plan and how we explain our lesson plan to focus on the standard 6 to 8. Yeah. So if I choose the plan B, if I want to explain the lesson plan, right? And what important point should I focus on?
Well, then I think that gives you some freedom to think about if you were teaching this class,
Yeah.
right, in a classroom.
Yeah.
So really be creative about, what your curriculum objective is, of course, what's being taught, and then in your lesson plan, really going through how you would address that. And 6, 7, and 8 is so powerful because standard 6 is how have you assessed the students to know what level they're at for the instruction. So demonstrate maybe a formative assessment you would give to students just to check in to see where they are. And then based on that, what would you do then to address kids that are really high? They get it. Some kids are still struggling. Some are in the middle. So many times, like if you're in the classroom, that gives you an opportunity to set up stations where kids will work on different things. It's really standard 7 is what do I do with that formative data that I have? Okay. How do I help each student move to the next level?
Yeah.
Okay. And then standard 8 is really, think about if you've ever heard of Bloom's taxonomy. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I have.
Of questioning, levels of questioning.
Yeah, question based.
So you might research that a little bit, because you've got your basic questions, and then you've got questions that guide students to think in higher order thinking.
Yeah.
So what you might do is establish your in your strategies questions that you'll be asking kids, and then how will they answer that? Maybe in a turn and talk, or they might do small group or something like that. It really gives you some flexibility to really explore lots of different ways that you might do that. So I like that. Wow. Yeah, I like that alternative assignment, because it gives you a chance to really think creatively about how you would do this.
Yeah, I think it's a difference between Chinese culture and American culture. Yes, and our lesson is one way, one way to maybe a lot of students. But in the United States, a classroom is a lot of methods to a lot of people. Yeah, I think that's very great.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, and that is a key difference. Yeah. And the old way of teaching was you presented the material and either they got it or they didn't. Yeah. This is taking each student where they are and moving them forward, right? Because that's true education. That's when we're really educating each child.
Yeah, students-based learning, right? Thank you.
Yeah.
And the last question I want to ask her, Jenny, is I'm very curious about what is the difference between the instruction plan and lesson plan? I can't.
It's the same. It's the same thing. Oh yeah, lesson plan, whatever you want to call it. That's what it is. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Does that help?
Yeah, help me very much. Thank
Yeah, good. Okay, well, I can't wait to see your plan. That's great. So then our debrief will be that you'll talk me through that plan that you have, that lesson plan.
Oh, thank you. I think I will.
Okay?
Okay, okay. Um, it means that lesson plan I will do tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
I haven't do.
Okay, just let me know.
Okay, thank you, Jenny. Okay, so
All right.
today's here. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
You too.
Bye bye.